Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Speakeasy. I'm your barkeeper, Jeff Belanger, a place where all are welcome because I'm not going to card anybody, and it's okay to drink alone together. I love that. How are you doing tonight? Please, if you're watching, start your watch parties, share with others so they can partake here in the Speakeasy because this is what we do, usually a few times a week. But I can tell you this week, it's only going to be tonight because a couple of things. Number one, the forest behind me is going away. This is our last show with the forest because we're going to kind of upgrade some things. I'm very excited for you to see it next time we come back, which is probably going to be a week from today because number one, I got a bunch of stuff going on this week. Look at my schedule. Where would I fit you in? Boom. If you want to hang out with me though, all this week in Danbury, which I think is already full, so I don't think you can get into that one tomorrow. But the 29th and the 30th, all these are, though they're called New England Legends, they're all different shows, different stories. You can still register for Milford and Westford, Massachusetts, and then next week at Worcester and Linfield if you're into that. Changing stories all the time, telling stories. Go to jeffbelanger.com, click on gigs, and you can click on each one to find out how to register for each one. And that's been a lot of fun, been doing that. So listen, where are you guys? Check in, please. Hello from Oregon. Very good. Good to see you, Katie. Say where you're from, what you're drinking. Hello from rainy Michigan. That's good. Hi from Connecticut. Nice to see you, Nina. Glad you're here. Jeffersonville, Indiana. Go forth, girls. Okay, good name, good name, good name. Carrie Ann Versace, I miss you too. And I miss all kinds of things. They are live, Rosalie. They are all live, those library programs. So, yeah, hello from Kent, Washington. It's 94 degrees here at the moment and drinking iced teas. Well, that sounds good. Hello, Dorothy from DC. There's so much to get to. Okay, look, listen. So tonight, this lady, I know this lady for a while. And the challenge, right, is going to be, well, okay, let me just say it right up front, right? Did you see that movie, The Conjuring? You saw it, right? You saw it. So anyway, Andrea Perron, Conjuring, all that stuff, right? We're going to try to not talk about it all night. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, let's just get her. Hello from Florida. Yay.
Hi. Okay, I'm wearing a sweatshirt from Michigan.
Of course.
My friend Julie gave me. Last time I was up there and freezing to death. The reason I'm wearing it is because it's so freaking hot here in Florida that when I come in the house and the air conditioning is set at 78, I get cold and I have to put on a sweatshirt. So I'm wearing my sweatshirt tonight, practically no makeup. I touched up my nails and I spritzed a little bit of perfume on for you.
Thank you.
So for scratch and sniff on there you go. And yeah, and that's it. I mean, I barely made an effort, Jeff. I barely made an effort.
I'm just blown away that you're vertical. So listen, Michelle, hold on, listen. Michelle says, "G'day from South Australia."
I can read. Hi, Michelle Pratt. It's lovely to meet you, dear.
There's
Cheers.
a point. There's a point. Cheers. Okay, you've got Coca-Cola. I've got tea. Love you to the moon and back.
I love you. To the sun and back. Okay.
Okay. I love you to Uranus and back.
Oh, I love you to Andromeda and back. Okay.
Fine, you win. I quitted Uranus. So listen, the reason you're wearing a sweatshirt, and I want to, this is relevant to Michelle, is because she's in the Southern Hemisphere. It's technically winter down there right now.
It is.
Michelle, up here, right now, we're in a season that they call women's winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The AC is so cold. Yeah.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So anyway, so how have you been since everything got locked down?
Okay. Well, all right. So here's the deal.
Go ahead.
On March 10th, Dad and I had an interview that we needed to do at the farm for a thing that is going to come out in the fall on the CW network. So it's March 10th, right? So we get on a plane. Everything's, like we know COVID is looming. We know that. It's been named. We know it's looming.
Right.
But it's like not here yet. And so we get on a plane. March 11th, while I'm working, doing the filming at the farm, we get the declaration of a national emergency. I go on the computer that night to check and make sure we've got our seats all set. We get on the plane. We walk into TF Green Airport, which I know you know well.
I know it well. I've peed in every urinal in every bathroom.
I'm certain of it.
Yeah.
But I told you not to write my name and number on the walls.
Sorry.
I hope you stopped that because I still get messages. Even though the place is a freaking ghost town right now, I still get messages. And Schrader does it too. Dave Schrader does it too. I don't know why.
It's our thing.
It is. And with you guys, it is. And so, anyway, Dad and I get on the plane. The plane was packed the night before when I checked in. 180, no seats available. We got on the plane. We were 2 of 24 people on the plane. There were 6 stewards and what do you call them? Flight attendants now. You know, I'm trying to be politically correct. Don't mess with me.
No.
And, and so it's like, okay. Where did everybody go? And, I was busy filming. I didn't have time to really watch the news, see what was happening that night. A little bit, did my check-in, went to bed, got up early, got on a plane. Gone, empty. I even have pictures of it. I have pictures. Hey, I sent you pictures. I sent you pictures that no one outside my family has ever seen.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know where I want. You know what? I know where I want to start. I want to start right here because
look at that big hair. Look at that.
That's you with a 12-string guitar.
12-string Eros guitar from Spain. Yes.
12. So what Joan Baez song were you playing right there?
Oh, it wasn't a Joan Baez song. Unfortunately, it was probably a Judy Collins, or it was more likely Crosby, Stills, Nash, or perhaps James Taylor. Because I'm old, and so that was my music. I was doing a concert with my friend Ricky, and we used to sing and play together, and he kind of sort of dated my sister Christine, and play for me.
Okay.
COVID sucks, okay? Let's just finish that thought. COVID sucks. It's the paradigm shift. Nothing's ever going to be the same. Okay, play for me.
Okay. You said Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and that triggered something, right?
Okay, do it.
All right, you remember this one? What was it? This one? Wait, gotta find it. We're out of time.
You're doing that up. You really need to do that up. Better.
Anyway, it was Love the One You're With. I'm sorry. I don't remember it as much as I should have. And there's a rose with a piston glove. Anyway, so
and the eagle flies with the dove.
With the dove. And if you can't
with the one you love, baby, then love the one you're with.
What's that song even about? Like, is it
sex? It's about sex.
I think you might be right. I think it's about like, hey, you're here, I'm here, and that's good enough.
There's a campfire, get naked. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what that song is about.
That's the Andrea I remember from Burrowville.
Hi, Wayne. How you doing? How you doing up there in Rhode Island?
Is he in Rhode Island eating those cohort clams?
Still in Rhode Island or not? Ask him.
Yeah. Well, let us know. They're always about sex. Every Crosby, Stills, and Nash song. That's probably true, except the whole Tin Soldiers and Nixon's Coming. I don't think so. So you sent me
Wooden Ships was about the Vietnam War and Kent State and all of that.
Right. So listen, growing up in Rhode Island, you went to, this is so cool for the New Englanders, especially Southern New Englanders. Boom, Rocky Point.
Rocky Point State Park. Look at those cars. I was maybe, based on the size of Christine and Nancy, and I'm the one in the middle, obviously, with the big hair, still at that age, I was maybe 6 or 7 years old.
So I'm looking at the cars behind you. Did you see those? Look at those. This looks like we're on the set of Happy Days. Look at that.
I know. I never shared that picture, Jeff. That's how much I love you. I sent you a picture that nobody outside my family has, I'm telling you, has ever seen. Ever.
You know how much I love you?
I do.
We made blondies yesterday.
Scratch and sniff.
I'll let you get a bite of that right there.
Oh, baby.
Now, you're not supposed to talk with your mouth full, right?
I know, you're not supposed to. It's considered uncouth.
No, but like, this is not the most professional thing you're ever going to do, right?
This is the least professional thing I'm ever going to do.
So I was like, why not eat during these things? I mean,
Cheers.
Let
Cheers.
Letterman do that. Yeah, right.
You don't know. I mean, this says Coke, but you don't know what might be in it or not.
No.
You don't know. You don't know.
I'm guessing like bong water.
Pretty damn close.
Pretty damn close. I love it. Raylene, lick the screen. Sorry. Don't be sorry. You do whatever you want. You're in your house.
You do whatever you
We're all
want.
friends here.
You know,
Andrea,
this is the age of COVID. You do whatever you want.
Under your roof, you do it. Now, I have a question that I know everybody's dying to know. Sorry to ask. What was your very first job?
My very first job was working. I lied to get it. I said that I was 16. I was 14, but I was a big girl and I looked like I was 16, and nobody really asked. And back then, there were no computers and Google machines to check stuff like that.
No.
And I went to work for this grabby Greek who owned a deli in downtown Pasco. And the first time that I leaned over to get some provolone cheese to put on a ham sub,
Slow down.
felt something behind me that I should never have felt. He wore a bunch of tomato sauce, and then I sprinkled the cheese on it, and then I walked the hell out of the restaurant after I emptied my pay out of the cash register, and he didn't dare chase me. And I've been that bodacious ever since.
The Grabby Greek, was that the name of the deli? Or because that's a good name.
Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious. So so that was your first job that you lied to get. You're underage before the internet, thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I would have smeared him from one side to the other because that guy was just like, ew. Yeah. And I was a child, for Christ's sake.
Andrew can't imagine anyone trying to get fresh with you. That's a little sad, actually.
I let him live.
Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, I let him live. It could have been so much worse than it was. But the sauce was hot. And he was not. Or that story might have been different. But no, that said, move on. Okay.
So yes, see, Wayne remembers.
Wayne remembers. Wayne's still in Pasco.
Yeah. So what's your second job that's not quite as salacious?
When I went off to college, I started playing guitar professionally around Pittsburgh and made a lot of money in the bars, and I was safely up on a stage all the time. So it was fine. And I was a singer and a songwriter, and I performed in front of 25,000 people live when I I opened for a wonderful artist named Chris Williamson. And I opened it was at Point State Park in downtown Pittsburgh. We had about 25,000 women, and it was the Take Back the Night March. There had been a series of rapes in Pittsburgh, and the women got really pissed and got all together, and we made banners and we carried on. And I was the head of the feminist organization on campus. And so that was my biggest live crowd ever. And
what song did you play?
Chris Williamson.
What'd you play? What song?
Wild Things.
Like
one of her songs. I sang one of her songs.
That's amazing. Yeah. Now, Pittsburgh, did you get to go to Permane Brothers for those sandwiches where they put coleslaw and French fries on top?
Yeah. Did you ever eat at the lunchbox? Okay, see, now I left my phone out in the parlor with my father to monitor it. Don't you have a wife and kids that could have, oh, sure. You can't answer if your mouth is full of brownies.
I don't know. I'm sorry. Did you think this was going to be like top shelf show?
I didn't dare think anything, Jeff, because I knew I was going to be with you. And I just didn't dare. This
is a safe place. Phones can ring. You can eat brownies. And it's all good. It's all totally good.
All good.
Tell me about so what's that like? You're in a city like Pittsburgh, a good solid blue collar city, but can be scary. I've been there plenty. And like you suddenly feel this empowered because we're in a moment now, right? Like we're in moment after moment right now where people are feeling like, hey, as one, we can stand together and fight things that are wrong.
Yeah.
And so
I've been doing that since I was 10 years old. My first protest march, I was with my mother in downtown Providence protesting the Vietnam War and Richard Nixon. And the banner and the poster and the thing she had that she made was so sturdy and so well made that I could only carry it for about a half a mile before I had to hand it off to her because it was too heavy. But I got my voice early. I have anybody that knows me knows I am an advocate for civil rights, women's rights, gay rights, social rights, voting rights, animal rights, and more rights. Because as far as I am concerned, no one is free until everyone is free.
Okay, here. Now, this is important because when you're used to speaking up and using your voice, when you start
my big girl voice,
your big girl
my
voice,
outdoor voice.
Do you have an indoor voice? Because I've been on like an airplane with you. I was on like a early morning shuttle.
I remember that.
It's happened more than once. You don't have an indoor voice.
I don't have an indoor voice, honey. I lost it as a child. I did.
No, you're in front of audiences. They just turn the mics off. You don't even know.
They do.
No, they're like, we're not going to blow them. Yeah, they can hear you fine. They don't even need it. So when you experience something that not everyone believes in, say, I don't know, paranormal, right? Yeah. And then you're used to standing up for things that you do believe in. And when you're the person that has the experience, it's very real to you. And so how do you like, but at the same time, getting in someone's face and going, I saw a ghost, I'll kick your ass if you don't believe me, right? Like that's not necessarily helpful.
Well, that's not my approach. I don't care. I don't care who believes me. I really don't. I don't. You know, I mean, that's probably the most serious thing I'll say to you within this hour is that that's not my job to convince anybody of anything. My job is to speak my truth. And regardless of what I'm speaking my truth about, I do it with confidence and my own knowledge. It's not belief. It's not having faith. It's not, you know what, it's knowledge. It's my knowledge. And I share my knowledge. And anybody that wants to buy into that and go, oh, wow, you know, that's great. And anybody else that doesn't, I'm not here for everyone. I'm here for my people. I'm here for freaks and weirdos like you.
Wow. I can hear you. I'm right here.
I know.
Freaks and weirdos. You know, honestly, I've been called worse.
I know, me too.
So that's okay. That's okay. So, okay, we can talk. I guess we said if there's time, we'd talk a little bit about the Conjuring House. I think you've been back there more in the last few years than like the 20 previous, right? I mean,
yeah, no, actually I used to go frequently when the owner, who is not the owner now, the owners now are Jen and Corey Heinzen. Mm-hmm. But the previous owner, I used to go very regularly, and she and I were friends for about 28 years until The Conjuring came out, and she felt like she got screwed by Warner Brothers and didn't get the money that she was supposed to get for them filming at the house, because James Wan read my books and freaked out and said, I'm not even going into Rhode Island, let alone to the farmhouse. And so they kind of shredded up the contract that they had with her, and she lost a boatload of money, and she got really mad and blamed it all on me in there. And that's what it is.
Well, hold on. Now, I remember meeting her at one of my, guys, I live pretty close to there. I'm only like 40 minutes away. And I remember meeting her once, and she was telling me how since the movie came out, and this is just her reality, right? Like people were like stopping at the house at all hours and going on the property.
Oh, yeah. Nobody can deny that.
Yeah.
Nobody can deny that. And I understand exactly why she was upset. But it wasn't my fault. My books had been out for years.
Oh, sure.
The movie came out. And then she went on national television and said that I never told her that there was a movie coming. Well, I think I've got like a 2-hour video with her discussing it. And she's the one that gave my number to the producer that contacted her first. You know, all of that said, I don't want any of this to be negative. No. You know, I'm very sorry that her husband passed away. He's one of the kindest, most wonderful people I have ever known. And I don't want to trash her, and I don't want there to be any more negative. Life is too friggin' short. And totally, if we never learned that now, then we never will. And so I just want to let that go. I understand why she was upset, but I didn't do it to her.
No, I know. But what's interesting to me, this is what's so the movie, which, you know, come on, they took quite a bit of liberty, right? Like we all agree on that. So they made a fiction movie. Like it's fiction.
It is.
Yeah, it's fine. So, but that fiction has turned that house into like an international thing.
Phenomenon. Yep.
Yeah. Shoot, when we filmed Ghost Adventures there, and I know we had you out for that.
Yeah, remember how loud I was when I got out of the car and you're like, oh, Annie, oh, they're shooting. And I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that on the phone?
I just did.
You had to know I was going to explode with joy when I saw you. You had to know it.
I know. There was a cop. We had to hire a cop just to like. You know what's funny though? This is a pro tip, everybody. So I got there and the cop was already there and he was parked in his own car.
I knew him from like years and years ago. I knew him.
I did not know him, which is an important part of the story. So I just pull my car over, I get out, and I start walking just as you please, like toward the house. And he goes, oh, hey, excuse me. And I just went, oh, I'm with the band. And he goes, okay, go ahead. I'm like, that always works.
It always works. If you're with the band,
just say I'm with the band.
I'm with the band.
I'm with the band. We were doing an event at the Mount Washington Hotel. This was years ago. And this was with the Ghost Hunters guys, Jason and Grant and Amy Bruni and all that. A bunch of us had just gone to dinner. And it was like me and Amy and like two other speakers in the car. And I'm pulling up to the security house. And she's like, security is airtight tonight because the celebrities are in the house. And I said, oh, okay. Pulled right up to the guardhouse. I'm like, we're with the band. He's like, go ahead. I'm like, it always works.
It never fails.
You want to get in somewhere, a couple of things. Walk in with a clipboard.
Yep.
Right? No one questions someone with a clipboard.
Or a valise. Or don't forget the valise. A valise. Any kind.
Or with the band. With the guitar. Who's going to stop you? Right? No. Oh, I didn't know there was a band tonight. Yeah, go ahead. Get you in anywhere.
Anywhere. Anytime.
And that was the first time I got arrested. So not convicted.
Oh, I should do that. I should do that that should be on my bucket list.
Getting arrested?
Yeah.
Have you ever been arrested?
I've been two shoes my whole friggin' life. Oh my God. I'm just so obnoxiously good when it comes to being, but you know what? I'll tell you the truth and don't tell anybody, okay? I am incredibly civilly disobedient. I break the law almost every single day, one way or another. And I do get speeding tickets from time to time because I can't do 55 or 65 or 75. I can't. And so I have had something on a ticket that one time said, wanton disregard for public safety. And that one cost $500, and that's the last one that I got.
Wow. So now you do have regard for public safety. You just drive fast.
If you keep it 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, that, they won't touch you.
No, totally fair. What else is on your bucket list besides getting arrested? Because I have a feeling you can aim higher than that.
Oh yeah, Stonehenge.
In England.
Stonehenge. Got it.
Still open. You can go. Yeah, you can go. Yeah. It's right there.
I'm supposed to go next year. I'm booked for an event next year, post-COVID, hopefully, after they plunge a vaccine in my arm.
Oh, I know. I'm supposed to be there next year, too. Are we at the same event?
Oh, God, I hope so. Oh, my God.
Oh, because I'll back out right now.
No, we'll go together. I'll fly up to you, and then we'll go so that we can spend 6.5 hours on the plane.
Which is always a red eye when you're flying from Boston to England. It's at night. Yeah.
We're awake, so nobody else snores or, there's no disruption. We'll just keep everybody awake. We'll do our dog and pony show. Bring your guitar.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And we'll do songs. We'll do like CSN or something. Yeah. You know which one I know? I do know. Wait a minute. Wait. Remember Southern Cross?
Oh my God, one of my favorites.
That's a good one, right? That's good. That was a key of A, right? Like, it sounds out of tune.
It is out of tune. That's why it sounds that way. And I had perfect pitch. I could tune it by ear if I had my hands on it. But for some reason, you're 1,200 miles away from me.
Yes. So let's talk about loss. Your guitar was stolen. Well, sort of. You lent it and it never returned.
Yeah, I loaned it to a friend, and then she packed up all of her stuff and moved to Seattle, Washington, with my ovation guitar that was, oh, when she took it, I think it was about 30 years old. I got one of the original ovations.
From
They went,
Connecticut.
yes, yes. And the resonance, oh my God, the acoustics, oh my God, it was the most perfect guitar. And she borrowed it, and I asked her for it back a number of times, and she always forgot. And then she packed up all of her stuff, including my guitar, and moved 3,000 miles away. And I never heard from her again, and it is gone. And yes, Andrew, and I won't say that word. I won't say it. I'm going to let you say it for me.
He said it for you. He's got your back. He's got your back. No, it's a funny thing. So guitar, I've played since I was like 14, and it's just for fun, right? Like it's like relaxing. You keep it around, and it's this thing when, because when you're like, I got to turn my hobby of paranormal into my job. But when something's your job, like it's still your job. You got to do it, and it's a grind sometimes. So I play guitar and get to like just loosen up. And I've brought it to a lot of speakeasies because you can't be in a bar without someone like, playing something.
That's right. Yeah.
And I found it, right? So it was ready? Got out of town on a boat from a southern island, sailing to reach for the following seas. That was it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know all the harmony when you get to if you like ever went to the actual chorus, I know all the harmonies.
Think about how many times. Anyway, I forget it. You know what? We could have prepared stuff.
We'll practice. Hey, you know what? Bring your guitar to Sault Ste. Marie next year, because Jim and Brad will heal COVID themselves in order to have Sault Ste. Marie happen next year. So just bring it. We'll do a little practicing 2, 3 o'clock in the morning down in the lobby, and then we will rock that place. We will rock it.
I'm ready. Right? I'm totally ready because I've just been getting my chops out here in the speakeasy where people are very nice. People that come here, they want to hang out. And I think that, it's just about like just getting a little bit of socialness in. And that's what I miss so much. I miss seeing my friends. I'm heartbroken about Sault Ste. Marie this year. But I understand, of course.
This was my busiest year, Jeff. I had at least 2 events every single month, and they are all canceled. Everything is done. It's over. I'm staying home. And there it is. Eileen Monson. Oh, Eileen, are you related to a woman named Marion Monson in Rhode Island? She was my father's first girlfriend.
She wanted to request a song. Eileen, what's the song?
What's the song? Think about like an old Aunt Marion or something.
I love the okay, so we'll see if she gets back to us on that. I miss all the events, and I miss the social part like the most. Like, it's great to do your talks and all that other stuff and talk to people, but like when it was the day was over and we were all at the bar, like that was the best, right?
You were at the bar. I was outside talking to the Galactic family.
Okay, I watched one of those. So I used this cup.
You came out?
Of course I did. I wasn't gonna miss that.
Oh, cool. I didn't know you were out there with me.
How did you get into UFOs? Because I actually do not know that story.
When I was 13 years old, I had just turned 13. We were living at the farm. We already knew about the spirits, the ghosts, and the activity in the house. And one day, it was in October. It was gorgeous. You know how gorgeous Rhode Island can be in October.
I do.
Bright blue sky, beautiful. Was actually relatively warm. The sun was beginning to set, and at the farmhouse, if you look up Round Top Road, that's where the sun would set. And all of a sudden, everything went completely silent, absolutely silent. No birds singing, no dogs barking, no nothing. I'm standing, don't know how I got there, in the front yard of the farmhouse, where the big trees are now. Well, they weren't that big then, and there was more lawn. And I saw a shadow coming over my head, and I looked up, and I was looking at an entire flotilla of ships. And the big one in the center was so huge. I mean, I didn't have any depth perception yet. I was still a kid. So I don't know how big it was. It looked like the size of Manhattan to me.
Yeah.
And it was completely surrounded with matching vessels. So, like, on one side there'd be a round one, on the other side there would be a round one. They looked absolutely seamless. They were absolutely beautiful, completely, totally silent. And in the middle of the big, big one, it looked like you had taken New York City and flipped it. It looked like an upside down city, like protrusions coming out, like
Right.
tubes and squares and lights and lights. And I was just like, oh my God. And I don't know how long I was out there. I didn't know for 40 years that I wasn't the only person on Earth that had seen it. But apparently, I found out at Star Wars Symposium, I found out at a UFO conference that it happened at the same time that that flotilla showed up over the Arctic Circle, came down over Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, came all the way down the eastern seaboard, and then somewhere around Maryland or Delaware, it hopped the pond and made a tour of Western Europe. And when the Royal Air Force scrambled their fighter jets to go after it, poof, gone, right up over the Arctic Circle, gone, off the radar, gone. And there were about 10,000 reports, but they estimate that it flew directly over the heads of 60 million people. Wow. And so extrapolating that out, how many of us saw it and how many didn't and why?
Do you remember what year this was, roughly?
It was 1972, I believe.
Okay. So, yeah, that was before my time. But the...
oh, go ahead. Rub it in, man. You know...
So, I'm a Nixon... Hey, I'm a Nixon baby. I'm at least that old.
That's nothing to be proud of. So,
well, there's a story.
Flag. I'm a story. Eisenhower baby.
So, listen, I was born, and 20 minutes later, Nixon said he's resigning. I'm not saying there's a connection.
I think there might be.
But there might be. He's like, 20 minutes after I was born, he's like, I'm out of here.
10th? Is it August 10th?
8th. Well, on the 8th, he said, I'm out of here effective noon tomorrow, which is the 9th.
Yep.
So, yeah, anyway. So, 1985, we're living in Connecticut, and my dad had just gone up to shut the fence behind our house about 10 o'clock at night or so and starts screaming at me, Jeff, get out of here right now. And my dad's not a screamer. You can ask my mom. Ooh, let that sink in. So I go running outside and I'm like, what? He said, there's a UFO in the sky right there. And I'm like, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. And I start walking up in the backyard and I turn around and I went, oh my God. I mean, this gigantic ring of lights was moving so slow. We watched this thing, Andrea, like 2 minutes. That's forever. 2 minutes.
Yeah, that is forever when you see something you've never seen before.
Yeah,
that is forever.
And so, like, we could have run in the house. We could have, like, made some tea or something. So, but, like, we're watching this thing. It's moving so slow. It's a totally overcast night, and the thing is below the clouds. And it went right over our next-door neighbor's yard, which was a pretty wide-open yard. And it's just slow as can be. And it was this ring of lights making just the slightest hum. And then it just went over the trees, over the hill, and then just out of our line of sight. We just couldn't see it anymore. The next day, front page, the Danbury News-Times. Over 100 phone calls about, so like we saw it, right? Like lots and lots of people saw it, and someone got a good photo of it, but I didn't see that photo until literally like 2008 or something. And this was seen all up and down the I-84 corridor in Connecticut. And the official explanation was it was a group of Cessnas, single engine planes that are like lawnmowers.
God, the lying liars that lie got a hold of that story.
So I know. And so like on the one hand, we're like, I've seen about 1 million Cessnas by age 10, right? Yeah. Like we all have, and then, but I'm like, that wasn't, I mean, I can't say that was Little Green Men, but I know that wasn't Cessnas. And so, yes. Are we commenting on the year we were born? Yeah, I guess it's out now. We've outed ourselves.
We were, 1958 right here.
Yeah. 74. I'm getting older though. Like it's happening, like in real time.
It sucks. Don't do it if you can avoid it.
I'm doing all I can.
Okay. And really try to avoid dental work. Really try to avoid that.
Yeah, I avoid sugar at all costs. What? 1983. Look at this.
Okay. Lauren, like you've got cookie on your front tooth there.
Right there? Did I get it?
Not yet. Keep trying. Oh my God, I want to just reach in and scrape it. Oh my God, it's the, Perfect. Ah, there is that smile.
Look, everybody's shouting out their ages. Look at these people.
There you go.
Oh no, look at that. Oh my God. Like some of these people are really young.
Oh
All
my
right.
God, we're really attracting a whole new crowd here. This is awesome.
I'm 2 years older than Jeff. 68, 1968. Or okay, look at everybody's just shouting out their ages here or years they were born, I guess.
Years they were born, I think.
And
Yes.
Kelly misses us both. Probably you more than me, I'm
Oh,
guessing.
Kelly. Oh, yeah, I know. Us too. We're really bummed about that. But here's the thing. Everybody's done the responsible thing. Jeff, you're just like me. We see our people, our para people, and all we want to do is hug them and kiss them and embrace them and hold them and get in their faces.
Long. Just until it's awkward. I like to hug until the moment it's awkward. And then just like 5 seconds longer, right? Like as soon as people are like, they do the pat, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, don't
5 more seconds.
No,
5
hold
more.
them like a freaking vice grip until they know they've been officially hugged. That's my attitude.
Yeah, my hug will leave you pregnant.
There you go, baby.
No, I get it, and it's so hard, especially at these things. People want to do pictures and hugs and all that, and you're like, oh, it'd be so weird to just be like,
and do the namaste thing,
fist bumps and
we can't do that.
Yeah,
we can't do that. I can't do that.
No, I get it, and the weird thing is like, when will we ever do it again? Like it's so when I was raised, when you meet someone, you shake their hand and you look them in the eye and you give them a good grip. Like that's what you do. And it's very difficult for me to meet someone. Like I've met a couple people since this went down, like you're somewhere and you're like, oh, hi.
Hi. Yeah.
Like, but when is it okay to like do that again? When is it okay to be like, hello?
Post-vaccine, and if we have to get vaccinated every single year for the rest of our lives, then we do. Period.
Yeah.
I think I already had this, to be perfectly honest with you. I was sick as a freaking dog last year. I got sick. Oh my God. Yes, I agree. The Air 5 is the worst. I picked up this. I was hanging out with this couple from England at the UFO con in Michigan. And I went down for the count afterwards, and I was like cobwebs all through my bronchioles and burning up with fever. And I ended up having to go to the doctor the day before I was leaving for Michigan again. I was going to be there for 4.5 weeks. I had 10 events. I was lecturing with Tenny. I was doing, I don't know how many events. I think it was like 9 or 10 events. And I was so sick. I was in like week 3 or 4 of so sick. And my father took me to our doctors, like right here in town. They have their own little clinic right here in Winter Garden. And I went in, and the technician drew my blood, and I looked at it, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. I mean, it was this color, okay? See that color that's on my nails right now? See that color? That's what my blood looked like. That's why I wore this color today, so that you can see what my blood looked like.
That's disgusting.
Does that mean that my blood is extra rich? And my doctor came in and she said, no, that means you are extra sick. Hold on. And she went and put it up under the microscope and came back with a bag this big, honest to God, this big, like a gallon-sized bag full of liquid antibiotics, composine, so I wouldn't puke my guts up while they drew all my blood out of me and then put it back in. It had... oh my God, what did it have? It had liquid antibiotics, it had composine, saline solution, something else. And it's called, oh, thank you, Dawn. Oh, there's my sweet girl. Oh, your blonde hair looks good, baby.
You're my nails.
This weekend, Dawn DeVito, you're supposed to call me. You and Cheryl and Tina, we were supposed to have a girlfriend thing yesterday, and it didn't happen. So we need to get that done this week. We have a lot to talk about.
Excuse us, Andrea. No, that can wait. That can wait.
Okay, all right. So I was like so sick. I was like death sick. And I had to get on a plane the next morning. And they wanted to put me in the hospital. They said I was hours away from having my vital organs shutting down. And I said, that's not a good thing. So fix me now because I have to get on a plane to Detroit in the morning. And so they sucked out huge tubes of blood out of me, like 5 or 6 of them. I thought, like, is there anything left, in me? And then they mixed it in with the big bag and they put it all slowly back into my body and then hit me with a Z-Pack and 2 rounds of Cipro. And that's what saved me from what I do believe was COVID before it had a name. And
Right.
now they proved that it's already been circulating since last August. So it's,
Sure.
I got it from people that came in from Western Europe, not China.
So one of the problems with all this, like, here's a post. R. Lloyd, I do not mean to make fun of you, but vaccines come with a microchip implant in your right hand or forehead that will track everyone and eventually be used economically. Yeah. So
well, that's a good conspiracy theory, but you see, I'm already attached to the galactic family, so I've been chipped for a very long time, and my dog is chipped. I'm chipped. I don't care. I'm not afraid of a vaccine. What I am afraid of is people that refuse to wear masks because they think somehow it shows their loyalty to one party or another. What I'm afraid of is willful ignorance. What I'm afraid of is people that don't take this seriously enough to save their own freaking lives. That's what I'm afraid of.
it's not even their own lives, right? It's like when
Right.
you're risking my mama and my dad and like stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
and my grandparents and so on and so forth. Yes.
so
I
the
have an
funny
80-year-old mother and an 84-year-old father. I'm not taking any chances. And when I was in Georgia a few weeks ago, my mother cried and she said, "Promise me you will not get on another plane until we're past this." And I promised her that I would not. I will not.
No, I get it. And so here's the funny thing. Like, so I know you've got friends all over the world in other countries, as do I, and I communicate with them.
Yeah.
We're the only country that has made wearing a mask political. Everyone else, like, you can lean to the left, you can lean to the right, but they all wear a mask.
They all wear a mask.
Yeah, here for some reason it became politically affiliation, like
Well,
whether you wear a mask or
for
not.
some reason, it was manipulated to be made into a political thing.
Yeah, it's not.
We don't even have to go there tonight. I'm not here to alienate people or piss anybody off. What I am telling you is that it didn't have to go this way. But the bottom line, Jeff, is that everybody on this planet simultaneously is confronting our own mortality for the first time. There is a novel coronavirus that is circulating and circumnavigating this globe. And it's the first true global pandemic because back in 1918 and 1919, we didn't get on supersonic jets and fly from one continent to the other because they weren't invented yet. And so this is the first global pandemic, and this is the first trial of humanity to see if we manage to get this right. And there's no excuse for us being in the situation that we are other than willful ignorance and an attempt to divide this country in any conceivable way that it can be divided. And the day before George Floyd was murdered, a friend of mine who's a psychic called me and she said, "Annie, we haven't learned our lesson. We haven't learned our lesson." And I said, "Well, I know you're talking societally." And she said, "Yeah." And she said, "I got a message." And I said, "Well, what was the message?" And she said, "Brown, brown." And I said, "Well, what's that mean?" And she said, "Brown. It's brown. It's just brown, brown, brown." And the next day, an officer planted his knee into the neck of a man who was urinating all over himself and begging for his mother, and all the world watched him die. So how's that for a wake-up call? It's time to do something. It's time to change our society and make it fair and just and equitable and loving and kind and good, because every single human being has those qualities and attributes within them, and whatever beat it out of them or made them stupid or made them careless or made them thoughtless and cruel needs to come to the surface to be washed away by the light. And I'll tell you something else, Jeff Belanger, you are the light. You and Dustin and people like you who I am so proud to call my friends. And I wouldn't even know you if I hadn't had the balls to tell our story. Do you know what I'm saying? If I hadn't found a way and the wherewithal to put out an unbelievable story into the world, I can't even say that I would believe it if I hadn't lived it. I can't say that, honestly. But because I did, people like you have come into my life and will be in my life for the rest of my life. And for that, I am eternally grateful.
I'm getting choked up.
Well, you should.
I got all the feels. Listen, I get it. I totally get it. And I get that it's so easy to get passionate about this stuff because, man, I don't think we're going in a good direction right now. But the great thing, the good thing, the hopeful thing is that we can change, but it's a collective
Right.
decision.
Yeah.
And I think what gets overwhelming for people is they think they have to change the world, right? Um,
Mhm.
I got to climb an amazing mountain a couple of years ago. Kilimanjaro is incredible.
Kilimanjaro, I
Books
know.
coming out. Books coming out in March. But anyway, so one of the points I make is that you can't climb a mountain. It's too big, right? It's just you can't conceive all the way up there, but you can take one step,
Step at a
right?
time.
That's what you do. You just take one step and then another step, and next thing you know, you're getting somewhere. And so when people feel overwhelmed that there's so many problems in the world, just fix your neighborhood. That's what you do. Look outside your window and start right there, and that will spread like viruses spread, and that brings bad stuff. Good can spread too. Look right
Love
out
is
your window.
infectious.
How
It's
can I
communicable.
help my neighbor
It's a
across the street?
verb.
It's all you got to do.
The
You
sky
know?
is a noun.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's all you got to do is just help start in your neighborhood, and if everybody just did that, the whole world would change. Just
Yeah.
fix your neighborhood.
Yep.
But anyway, and I love it. I love it for but I think sometimes people need to hear it again because it can be so overwhelming. And if you're watching cable news, you're getting the least information you can possibly get. I don't care which channel it is, right? Like
Yep.
you're just getting opinion and getting overwhelmed with stuff that's meant to keep you scared. And like just take care of yourself, your neighbors, your community, and it'll spread from there. Things will be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I still have a little bit of this Blondie left.
Well, it should be gone by now. We're well into this broadcast.
I know we are. We only got like 13 minutes left. But I feel like as soon as I take a bite, you're going to go quiet and then there'll be this lull and I'll have to.
I never go quiet. What would make you think that? I will talk all the way through your entire chewing thing that you do. I mean, and no matter what your face looks like, I will try not to laugh out loud at the ridiculous facial expressions that you make while swallowing this inordinate amount of sugar that is going to have you buzzing until midnight, and you know it, and yet you do it anyway, and that's okay. And lick the plate clean enough that you can put it back in the cupboard, and your wife will not know that it wasn't washed. I do love you, honey. I do love
My
you.
daughter made this.
Oh, that's so precious. That's so precious.
She is. She's 13 now.
I know. I know, and I think that I saw her once at the Ocean State Paracon, maybe.
No, I didn't bring her to that. No.
Oh, okay. Well, then I saw a picture of her, and she was like that big.
Yeah.
So that's how long we've known each other.
It happens. Like, you know what happens? You feed them and stuff, and they grow.
And they grow. Yes.
It's the weirdest thing in the world.
It is the strangest thing in the world.
And the other weird thing is when, like, you've got a kid and you want to protect them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and you start looking at the whole world. And like, so first of all, anyone who's a parent knows, like, the whole world is scary on a normal day. Like, right. You're just like, you don't want them to get abducted or touched inappropriately by, you know, the touchy Greek guy with the deli. Like, you know, like you don't want any of that, you know? So, I don't know. It's one of those things that you're afraid all the time as a parent. But you also, my only job as a parent, I only have one, right? Make her independent, make her be able to flee the nest and be on her own. That's the only task I have.
You just want her to get a really good job so you know that she's like your retirement insurance.
Oh, retirement. I'm hoping like she's 13. So 5 years from now, I want to be retired so she can just take over from there. I'm like, listen, there's kids on TikTok making millions of dollars. You get on that.
Get on that. Yeah, listen, so like I just turned my chair and I realized that when I cleaned out my closet today that I threw everything on the sofa behind me, including a lampshade that I forgot that I even had. And this is pitiful. So what I'm going to do, nobody look, everybody close your eyes for just
okay.
a minute. And
what a freaking mess.
I'm going to practice distraction techniques.
Oh, that's so cute.
The Princess Buttercup.
Aw.
Baby. She's my baby. I know she's my baby.
Look at
her nickname is Peanut. Both of my parents nicknamed her Peanut separately because, you know, mom's in Georgia, dad's down here.
Yeah.
And so Chris and I were off gallivanting while I was up visiting. And I said to her, did you know that mom and dad both, without ever discussing it, both call her Peanut? And she said, Peanut. Oh, Peanut Buttercup. Princess Peanut Buttercup. And that's my baby.
That's right out of Princess Bride. I love it. She
And
is adorable.
what three words do I say to her every day? As you wish.
As
As you wish.
you wish.
I am her lady in waiting to serve her every need. She is a service dog, but I'm in service to her.
Right.
The other way around. And she came into my life the day I read the first article about a rogue novel coronavirus. And I sat back in my chair and I said, this is it. This is it. This is the paradigm shift. I've been forecasting it, predicting it for years. It was coming. And then I look out the front window and this little peanut is running back and forth between cars on the road in front of my mother's house. And I had a total moment of panic. And my first prayer was, Dear God, let her death be swift and painless. And then my second prayer was to my sister. And I said, April, bring the puppy to me. And it took 2 days to win her over and to put food out for her. And she was terrified. She was 3.5 pounds. She is now 10.5 pounds.
Wow.
Big baby now. Of all the micro dogs on the whole planet, this is the very, very best of all of them.
She's adorable.
My adorable baby girl. And when she cocks her ears sideways, she looks just like Sister Betril of the Flying Nun with the hat. But you don't know that because you're not old enough to know.
Sally Field, right? Was the Flying Nun.
You did it. You did it. You did it. Okay, go back to bed. There you go.
She's adorable.
She is adorable. She is the love of oh my God. She is the center of my universe. I rescued her and then she rescued me back.
Funny thing about animals, isn't it?
Funny thing about animals.
Yeah, they love us back. They do. And I think that's the thing about sentient beings, right? They know when they're cared for and loved, and then they give it back. And when you're nasty to them, they get scared and they get nasty back. Funny, like people are the same.
Yeah.
Right? Like treat someone like crap.
We're all the same. And I don't know about you, but I can't look into the eyes of an animal and think that that creature has no soul. I'm sorry.
No, I agree.
They're just as valuable and treasured as every human being should be. And she is. I didn't want another dog, Jeff. I didn't. After I lost Gracie Pearl, I was devastated. My 130-pound lap dog, she was Great Pyrenees, most beautiful animal I had ever seen in my life. And I raised her from a little tiny baby. We rescued her out of the woods. She was so sick, and it took me months to get her healthy, and vet bills I don't want to discuss. And I had her for years. She was just the love of my life. And when she passed away, I said, that's it. I can't go through pain like this ever again. I cannot. And I went for years without a dog. I mean, Mom's got Sammy, who she inherited from April when she passed away, and we got the cats up in Georgia. But I travel too much. I don't think it's fair if you travel to have an animal that you have to, kennel or shelter or, and I said, I don't want another dog. I do not want to love something that much ever again, other than my immediate family and my friends. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And boom, the universe had another idea. And I don't know how I could have gotten through all of this without her. I do not. Because when I'm angry and I want to, rip somebody's St. Bernard, Atticus.
160-pound lap dog.
Oh my God, he makes my Gracie Pearl look like a puppy. That's great. You should. Oh God, I wish you could post a picture of him. They're just gorgeous. St. Bernards are gorgeous.
They are.
But and then it turned out that I didn't have to really travel anywhere. She's going to have me all year long and then some. And then also my dear friend Les and Nancy Anderson don't live far away, and George Lopez is just like 90 minutes away, and Nancy and Les are 90 minutes away. And everybody has said, if you have to travel, we'll take her, for the days that you're gone. And and she loves them all. It all worked out. It all worked out.
Have you worked on any you feel like self-improvement projects since being locked in? Have you looked at yourself and been like, what can I fix up?
Oh God. Oh my God. I'm very busy. Okay. All right. So one of the messages that I got from the Galactic family when all of this crap unfolded was eat what you crave. Not what you want, but eat what you crave.
I did that with the blondie.
Okay, I know, and that 6 feet social distancing is not nearly adequate. That was one of the messages that I got to. Well, I mistook eat what you crave for in a form that would make me fat. So I went through a 2 month ice cream binge, and now I'm spending an hour a day exercising this away. Because of course it all went to lay in my belly and on my hips, in my core, and see, I was craving calcium, and and ice cream is a good source of calcium, and it's a lot tastier than the horse pill that's white
Right.
and chalky.
And just drowned in sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm through that. I'm through the binging with the ice cream. And I'm back to eating a much healthier diet. And for years I've been slowly but surely, becoming a vegetarian because I've always been in philosophy. But I was raised in a household where it was meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes, meat and potatoes. And so it's really, really hard to make that transition up here.
Yeah.
But I'm doing well. And last night for dinner, I had mashed turnips and rutabagas, which is the most delectable, wonderful food. Rhonda, Rhonda, you did not need to tell me that. You did not need to tell me you're eating ice cream right now. No, go ahead, laugh it up. But I'm going to come back to Michigan eventually, and you're going to pay for that post. I just want you to know.
Maybe she'll bring you ice cream.
No, she won't. No, what she'll do is remind me that she did that to me, and then I'll just.
Maybe she'll bring me ice cream.
She might.
That would be amazing.
To bring Jeff ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so that's the thing. Yes, I'm making an effort. Let's just put it that way. I'm making an effort. Are you making an effort? Because you look perfect.
So thank you. I when this first went down, I was eating a lot of comfort food, and you know how everybody posted pictures of like homemade bread online. Like we were doing that too. Homemade bread is amazing. My daughter and I were making homemade bread with the pizza stone and everything, and it was so good. And I was putting on. I was at my best right before this started. And in the last couple weeks, I'm like, all right, enough. Like, I mean, I want to be healthy for me. Like, I just want to feel good. And so this blondie aside, I've been trying to like cut down on the sugar because it's a killer. I can resist anything but temptation, Andrea. Like,
I know. This is my first Coke in like 3 weeks.
It's so
I really had to cut the Coke out. Well, Chip had to too because of the whole diabetes thing.
Yeah.
And I tried to support him in that, and I'm like, okay, he lost like 30 pounds cutting Coke out of his life. And when you're out on the road, you're grabbing anything that's caffeinated. You're grabbing junk food and caffeine to keep going because when we do these events, I don't know about you, but every single day is an 18-hour day for me.
Sure.
And I would assume the same for you. And so something's got to keep you going. And oh, right, Lena.
The 19 is the pounds. Get it? 19 COVID. That's the yeah. I get it.
I only put on 12, but I'm trying to beat it off right now.
I put on like 6, and I'm getting them back off. Like I started.
Right, we'll do like our fist bump on. Okay, well, we'll just commit. Let's just commit. All right, we'll just commit.
Okay. No, I've been good. I've been better. In fact, this Friday, I'm gonna go hike a mountain in the White Mountains, which I'm very excited about. I'm long overdue, and
I know a lot of the mountains in the White Mountains.
Isolation.
Oh, sweet.
13.5 miles.
Yes, it is.
It's one of the 4,000 footers. So, yeah. So it's near the presidential range, and so I haven't done it. And isolation is a theme, right? Like you can be out there isolated.
Yeah.
So
yeah. We used to go to New Hampshire all the time. I saw the old man in the mountain over and over and over again before he crumbled and fell to earth.
Rest in peace.
And the flume, the basin, there's like so many. Oh my God, New Hampshire is just glorious. It's glorious.
It is indeed. Guess what? We're almost out of time. I'm out of my blondies are gone. We should get some shameless plugs in. There's your website, House of Darkness, House of Light. Where
Yeah, it sucks. No, I'm rebuilding the whole website right now.
okay, gone.
It's like, okay, but you can get the books on Amazon. Usually, if you buy all three, it's a real good deal, especially if you download it on Kindle. Or, you can get in touch with me on the Buttercup Brigade. Buttercup Brigade is my fan page. And I have a few books in stock. I can sign one and mail it to you. I'm easy to find. You know that. I'm easy
totally. Yeah. And of course, on social media and all that other stuff. Yeah. There's that. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, your bartender appreciates tips if you feel like it. If you can do it, there's Venmo and PayPal. Because, Andrea, that's what the times have come to, is that we're working for tips these days. And that's okay. People have been very generous, and it's appreciated. And just wait, Andrea, the next show this is gone. The forest is gone. It's going to be like some new stuff. I'm excited.
I'm so glad. It's beautiful, but mix it up.
We got it. Yeah, we got to evolve. So everyone watching, thank you for coming out tonight. Thanks for joining us for drinks. Come back another time. All are welcome here, right? We can talk about anything. You're among friends. Andrea, I'm glad you're well. I'm glad you're taking care of yourself. And I appreciate you sharing stories. And like, I want that guitar back. Like, we gotta get that to happen.
Yeah. I will.
All right.
And I'll have to cut these off so I can play it again.
That's true. I don't. I'm good. I'm ready right now. So, hey, thank you very much, dear. Please stay well. Give my love to your dad and the fam.
I will. I love you too, and my love to your family. And we'll be in touch. Call me anytime. You got me on speed dial, dude.
You got it. All right, everybody else. Until next time, take it easy.
In the